The Pharmacy on Today, sponsored by Boots.
Now, around 1 in 6 couples in Ireland, as Donald mentioned earlier on, experience infertility affecting both men and women.
Yes, now those experiencing infertility are likely to have many questions. So today our resident pharmacist Donald O'Sullivan joins us with some information and advice. And as though he said there, I mean, there's quite a high percentage of couples that have problems conceiving. Yes. So I suppose let's go back to the start of what we can do.
Yeah, so I suppose what we can do for general fertility ourselves is that look after, be at a healthy weight.
Yes.
Because if a woman is underweight, for example, Mara, that can delay ovulation, the release of the egg. Now, being overweight can cause infertility in both men and women. And did you know that smoking, smokers would have a 13 to 17% lower sperm count than non-smokers.
Oh, that's high.
And smoking can even affect the number of eggs that a female has.
What about alcohol then, Donald?
Alcohol, we know, I suppose, is damaging to the fetus, so it would be a no-no for the female. But even excessive drinking for a man can affect sperm production. And a lot of men, I know they would, you know, when they're expecting their partner to give up drink, they give it up also.
Yeah.
And also, I suppose, what's becoming more prevalent now, cannabis and cocaine and anabolic steroids, all those things, they all have a detrimental effect on fertility also.
Yeah, I suppose when you're starting a journey, and it is the journey of deciding to have a child, that the first thing, Donald, is that you can be in optimal health as much as you can be anyway. So a good healthy weight, as you said, not underweight, not overweight.
Yes.
What about exercise and all that? I suppose all those things are important too.
Nearly every time I'm on, Mara, aren't we always talking about the 4 pillars of good health? So for general health, you're always going to be going for your exercise, diet, sleep, and good social interactions. They're always so important.
Donald, what's the difference between infertility and subfertility?
I suppose subfertility would be a delay in conceiving, Dahi, but infertility, you could say, would be if you're after trying for a baby for a year and it hasn't happened, that would be the definition of that.
Okay.
You know,
now,
so
we can go to the pharmacy, we can buy, say, as a woman say, an ovulation kit. Tell us about those. If you're just getting a little bit, or you're starting the journey, or you feel you haven't conceived in a few months that you might have been trying. Yeah,
they're a great idea, Mara, because you can talk to your pharmacist and we would sell these kits, and they're highly accurate at detecting in the urine a peak in this hormone that's called LH hormone. And what generally happens when this peak comes is that 1 or 2 days later, an egg will be released. And that's the most fertile time of the month. And you see, not every woman has this regular 28-day period. That's only an average thing. So a woman is at her most fertile 12 to 14 days before her next period. But good general advice anyway, Mara, would be that if you are trying for a baby, it's theoretically possible to get pregnant at any stage during the cycle.
But it's the optimum time.
The optimum time is the ovulation.
These
kits, and then you know that 1 or 2 days later. But it's still no harm to be having regular sex, because sperm can survive in the female for up to 7 days. So if you had sex in the run up to that ovulation, that would be important. But the kits are very accurate at predicting that peak of...
Donald, if a couple have been trying for a long time and having no success, how long should they wait before they should talk to their doctor?
Well, look, it's often normal to wait 6 to 12 months. But I think even if you're going on that journey, even at the start, talk to your doctor. Because even from a female point of view, a blood test will give you information on your general health, maybe how your micronutrient levels are, your hormone levels, your ovulation status, and there is so much help out there. So it is worth, you know, bearing in mind to have a conversation with the doctor from the start. But like I said, it could take 6 to 12 cycles could be normal. Could be normal enough.
Now, you said obviously a good diet and all that, but if you don't have the perfect diet, there are some supplements that can help fertility.
So it is definitely worth talking to your pharmacist or to your doctor, Mara, because some supplements are actually damaging to the fetus, like vitamin A or cod liver oil. And then it would be important to have a good blood test, like we said already, just to see in case that you're lacking.
But folic acid, if you're planning a pregnancy, is very important.
Very important, Mara. And it's even more so important for people if they're taking maybe anti-epilepsy drugs. They may have to be prescribed a level of folic acid 12.5 times stronger than the standard 400 microgram folic acid. But all women should be taking folic acid for 3 months before conception and for 12 weeks anyway after conception, because it helps prevent neural tube defects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dawn, you mentioned at the very start there about stress, and stress can be a cause of infertility as well, but it's a very stressful time as well, so it can be a vicious circle, can't it?
It can, and because you see, stress, if it's excessive enough, can delay ovulation, the release of the egg. It can also affect a relationship with your partner, and it can also affect sex drive. And then if you're trying for a baby and it's not happening, sure, that's adding up to the, like you said, it's a cycle, Dahi.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for people. It's a very sensitive subject.
It's one of the reasons why people should be talking about it out loud as well, and talking to your partners and talking to your pharmacist and talking to your doctor as well.
Exactly, because it's so common, you know, and it's so important.
Yeah, Donal, as well, I suppose when you talk about supplements, we talked about folic acid for women, especially
Yes.
3 months before, and of course, as you're going on through your pregnancy. But for men, are there certain supplements that can help men? I know certain minerals
There
can
are
help
certain,
men.
and often you get these products that are designed specifically for it, Mara. So,
Okay.
like even selenium,
Yeah.
that can contribute to normal sperm production. Zinc and vitamin D, they contribute to normal fertility function. You know, iron levels, calcium levels, a lot of these different supplements. But even as part of coming back to general health, a good, you know,
Cross-board diet and supplement,
Exactly, that's
yeah.
a good supplement that's designed for fertility. You have one specifically for men, and they're
I think
great
it's
with you.
interesting, though, what Donal said there. If you are on medication, and speak to your pharmacist, because there are certain medications and thyroid problems and different things like that
Yeah,
can actually
exactly.
impact.
Yeah, if your thyroid isn't under control or your diabetes isn't under control, Mara, that can affect your fertility and coming back to this ovulation, the release of the egg again, it can
Yeah.
interfere with that. And then unfortunately, for some people, you know, if they're undergoing chemotherapy, that might be a help. But did you know, Mara, that if you were taking anti-inflammatory painkillers, and if you take too many of those, like even ibuprofen over the counter, that can reduce your fertility also.
Yeah.
So it's just important to have that conversation with your pharmacist and with your doctor.
It certainly is. Donal, thank you very much
Thanks,
for
Donal.
being with us
Thank you
today.
very
Of course, if you want more information or if you have any concerns at all, do speak to your pharmacist or your GP.
Yes, and you can also contact the National Infertility Support and Information Group by emailing them at contact@nisig.com. We'll also put the details, of course, of this conversation on our Facebook and our Instagram.
The Pharmacy on Today. Sponsored by Boots.